Do I think it has some traction? Maybe. I mean, I remember when it first came out, it was, I don't know, it was a fun comedy, and I don't think it needs I don't know what more they can do unless they totally revamp the whole thing and not put it in Chicago and not put it, Do in those think places. It has some traction? Maybe.
Hey!
When it first came out,
Go.
it was, I don't know, it was a fun comedy, and I don't think it needs
There's going to be a click on there, unfortunately, because I'm using the webcam audio, so I can figure it out.
Okay.
So, anyways, where were we?
Oh, I was just explaining. Did anybody ever ask for this reboot?
No, for
in
real.
the first place. So who is? I don't even know who's in this. It literally did not.
I've got that right here. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay.
Forgive me. So it's got so Nicole Richie apparently is starring in it.
Okay.
June Squibb, who we saw in Hubie Halloween, he was Hubie's mom.
Yes.
Adam Sandler's mom, so to speak, in that one. Jermaine Fowler, Iantha Richardson, Ms. Pat, Simone Joy Jones, Miles Fowler. A lot of unknowns unknowns to me.
Yeah.
And so, but again, I'm not really sure how this thing became a thing as quickly as it did, because like I said, I've never ever heard of this. I mean, obviously we've all heard of the 1991
and
version.
there's not much out there as far as what it's entailing, like what it's about.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So we just know it's coming out.
Right. And here's the synopsis. Tanya finds her summer plans canceled when her mom jets off for a last minute retreat, and the elderly babysitter unexpectedly passes away. So yeah, that's
maybe they'll change the adventure.
Could be.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool. I wonder if it's still taking place in Chicago.
Was the original in Chicago?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Because the building, it's Chicago because she slides down the building.
What building?
When she's hanging out the window.
It's been so long since I've seen this movie. It's been so long. So like you're telling me all kinds of movies.
You don't remember that song when she had to go on stage and sing that?
No.
Oh my God. See, this is why things should not be rebooted, because it's embedded in some people's memory in a certain way.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So anyways, it really is. I think my memory of this movie ends at the babysitter dying. And then trying to figure, and then like my whole thing is, if you're going to do one of these, I feel like you should do a Weekend at Bernie's or something. Like, give me something interesting. By Weekend at Bernie's, I mean, like, maybe the kids have to fake that the babysitter's still alive, and they have to hold the body up. And be
no, they never did that.
So I'm saying that's what I'm talking about. Like,
they just never informed the mom. So the older one had to go out and get a job, and she becomes this famous designer, and then she has to turn the position down because come clean that she's only 17.
I honestly... This entire movie is new to me. The original one we're talking about. All right, so what
we're going to do...
I'm telling you, I'm blown away by this.
Always looking for stuff to watch.
Not only is the new one kind of out there, the old one is now becoming new for me, because I have no idea. No clue.
So there's that.
That's awesome.
What do we got coming up next? What's next?
Sorry. So the very next thing we're going to talk about is, apparently there is a live-action Popeye the Sailor Man movie coming out. There's a studio that is middling at best or whatever that's working on it, and my whole thing is, so a lot of people don't understand that, one, we already got a really great live action. It was the Robin Williams one.
Robin Williams, I know.
Okay,
that's
with
right.
Shelley Duvall as Olive Oil and whatnot. That movie was brilliant. And it was
re-released that in theaters on the 95th anniversary, man. Why don't they do that?
That's what I'm talking about. Remaster it, 4K upgraded, put it out into the world, done. Bob's your uncle. Also, you ever notice, just sidebar, you ever notice we have technical issues whenever we take the time to like blast on social media, like do our best to cover it.
Yeah.
When we tell nobody anything, everything works smoothly.
So
just thought I'd bring that out.
Anybody. No, for
real.
No, I noticed that too. I did notice that too.
But anyway, so the other thing is, on top of the fact the Robin Williams one is actually like the best version I've ever seen in my life, because one of the things the Robin Williams version did was it does what comic book movies do today. Popeye had the big giant arms.
Yeah.
He talked with the thing. They did spinach. Olive oil looked like olive oil. Blutus looked like Blutus. They literally built an island style sound stage where legitimately it was all controlled. They were on a little pond or lake. There was a little marina with his boat that looked super cartoonish. Like it literally looked like the Popeye boat. Like they did everything.
Like they did with Hook.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And it looked spectacular. Corny, cheesy, absolutely. But come on, it's literally Popeye.
It's Popeye.
For real. The other thing is, and I'm not going to do the classic like who asked for this or this and that, because you know what, things work and different iterations work all the time. Right now we're getting another Peanuts CG movie, the animated one, because the first one did middlingly well. It was good enough. It was good enough that they thought to themselves, cool. We're getting a new one. It's going to be fun, and I'm excited. That's a wonderful look. Now, famed animator Genndy Tartakovsky, the guy who did Primal, the guy who did Samurai Jack, the guy who did Dexter's Laboratory, the guy who did all these older cartoons and whatnot, he has been working on an animated one that they were doing as I don't know if they were ever greenlit or it was a pitch. This image is one of the images from that CG animated one that he's been working on. They put a little pilot or a pitch version together. It's on YouTube. You can literally find the thing. And he's talking about how much he's loved. He said the old Popeye cartoons made him want to be an animator. I mean, that's huge. And he was the guy who worked on Hotel Transylvania. Okay. So shortly after Hotel Transylvania, he said he's like this. If people are loving the slapstick nature of that, imagine if we did something like this that lends itself to that. And I think that was a brilliant idea. Huh. All that to say, I don't know why they're doing this. I really don't. I mean, I'm glad they're doing something, I guess, but I don't know why they're doing this. So we'll figure it out.
I guess it's more. This issue isn't why nobody asked for the reboot. It's just like, why are they doing it? Yeah, it's like makes no sense. This was wonderful. Robin Williams one was wonderful. So
absolutely. All right, so let's comment below. Let me know what you think. Do you think we need a Popeye reboot? Would love to hear your take on it. Or would you be more interested in, say, the Genndy Tartakovsky one, or should they leave good enough alone? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, let's go on to the next topic. The very next topic is one that went around the internet like wildfire. And I remember I saw the first note for it and online, so first person sharing it. I read the story, I went everywhere. It's from the Sun Times, the Sun in the UK. Yeah. Okay. And the issue is Aaron Taylor Johnson allegedly has been offered. Now, there's already people he's been offered the role of James Bond. There's already places that are running with Aaron Taylor Johnson is the next James Bond. He's gonna be. The only news that I can find is them having said he was offered the role. Now, after that, nobody's confirmed it. Mm-hmm. Nobody's confirmed that. Nobody's confirmed literally anything else having to do with this situation with him. But the whole internet was taking it pretty darn seriously. And I'm talking about big places, Variety, Deadline. A lot of folks have been saying that he was offered the position. He was offered the entire thing. And so I don't know. I would love to see for myself like what that ultimately what it's going to end up looking like for him. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like it's a role that I think he'd be good at it. What are your thoughts?
James Bond isn't my thing.
Oh, okay.
I know very little about James Bond.
Right on.
So I'm gonna if you think he's got that look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got that look. Yeah, I mean I could see why he would be. You know.
So I'm trying to check the stream because it seems like we may not be frozen. And again, our producer's slacking at the moment to let me know any of this stuff. But yeah, no. So okay. All right. So what's the next? Let's roll to the next one. Screw it. So the next thing is the alleged Pooniverse.
Yeah, I don't get this.
So, okay. The same studio that came out with all that stuff having to do with when Winnie the Pooh went into the public domain. I guess last year. Yeah. This year, Tigger's went into the public domain, so they've that character, so they've added that character to their universe. And over the next few years, more characters are entering the public domain. Peter Pan and Wendy, Bambi, all these things and whatnot. And they're putting together individualized movies, and apparently at some point, it's going to culminate in what they're calling the Pooniverse. And I don't even know why I'm even saying that ridiculous word, that ridiculous phrasing. Anyway. So yeah, that'll be a thing. Go ahead.
All right, so my favorite Disney character is Winnie the Pooh, so I have a lot of issues with this.
Yeah, I forgot.
I mean, why are they doing this? Because they can. And here's the thing. I like a really good scary movie, okay?
Agreed.
I don't like slasher movies. I'm not a big, like, I don't do body gore. Horror. I can't do that. Give me something like Conjuring.
I was going to say, but you're a horror fan.
Yeah. Yeah. This doesn't. I don't look forward to this. I don't. I'm intrigued by it. So maybe the trailers, but I don't know if there's anything. Hi.
We have our third co-host. We have. She joined us. Okay, so real quick, let me see what other movies they're talking about doing. So Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 1 and 2 are part of the Pooniverse. Bambi: The Reckoning, which I don't floored and astonished by. Peter Pan, Neverland Nightmare.
I want to come back to that.
Of course. Pinocchio, Unstrung.
That sounds a bit.
And then Pooniverse, Monsters Assemble. So I guess, okay, let's for just a moment take this extraordinarily seriously. Let's take it very earnestly. Is this a good guy thing? Do they become good guys? Are we going to see some weird? Is it almost like Jason versus Freddy, where you're going to see a group of people being terrorized by multiple bad guys? Like, what is happening with this? What is going on?
I feel like, as I'm looking at this, okay.
Sure.
These look. I don't know. I see like maybe there's the Bambi. I see Bambi, kind of. I feel like the Pooniverse is all of this going on.
Got it. But
the only reason I brought it up is like the Marvels.
I know, but what to do what?
Oh, no, these are all the bad guys. They must have to fight the good guys, I think. I can't see them becoming good. I don't know what I don't know what this is.
What is going on here?
I don't know what this is.
No, for real.
And however, there is one here that I do kind of like. Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare.
Okay, that's a good. I'm glad you went back to that. I remember a long time ago there was a manga, a Japanese comic book, and it told a story of Peter Pan apparently was murdered and was reincarnated as a woman, as a girl, female. Mm-hmm. And the character had to be found in order to remember that they were once Peter. So there's this whole mythology built into it. Anyways, but there's this nightmarish, like, their version of Captain Hook in this thing was horrific.
Wow.
He almost reminded me of that. There was a wrestler back in the late 90s, early 2000s, Undertaker.
Okay.
Because he had this big hat. He had a long black pirate trench coat thing, and he had this really mean, almost Candyman-esque, rusty-looking hook arm.
That makes sense. That would be horrific.
And apparently, the Tinkerbell is the only good fairy, and all the other fairies are the kind that steal your face and the whole bad fairies.
Wow.
Like, it was very much, and I remember thinking to myself, it was a cool comic book. It was a very cool story, very, very well done. So I sit here and I go, okay, you give me something off the wall crazy like that, mm-hmm. and it's almost like kids are being dragged to their nightmare place. Where Neverland is no longer the dreamy type place; it's more about making it almost like the boogeyman's domain.
I was gonna say the boogeyman's domain, yes. Instead of not wanting to grow up.
Yes.
See, and I think that is doable.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
That I don't know. Yeah, that's doable because, again, I don't think there's any blood and gore and craziness in that. It sounds more like it's very
cerebral.
Yeah, it's cerebral to the point where it messes with your mind.
I can see that.
You know what I mean?
I absolutely can see that.
Or again, that vibe of The Conjuring, I can see like the evil fairies jumping out, or you know, like in the nun standing behind her. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm kind of basing that on.
I agree, 100%. The problem in letting her up is that now she's physically on the table.
Oh no!
So she could step on a keyboard and mess something up.
I like the way you threw that at her.
I tried.
Anything else?
I only have heavy things, and I can't take anything heavy that I'm gonna.
Let's take up a card behind me.
I'm good.
Okay. She's such a jerk.
Rose, get down off the computer. You have to kick her out. Get off the computer. Get down right now.
Get down.
She's literally sitting on the computer one. Get out of here. Go. Nerd.
Sorry, you guys. We're all over the road today, and that's okay. Sometimes these are the best.
Yeah. All right. Next up, let's move along this thing. When it comes to Doctor Who, I don't know about you, but some of my favorite episodes were the Matt Smith era. Specifically, I feel like the Matt Smith era. Text her to come let her out. Mm-hmm. I feel like the Matt Smith era was really definitive, and when it rolled into the Peter Capaldi era, again, all these things were really, and that was under this man's watch, Stephen Moffat. Stephen Moffat brought us some of the best episodes of Doctor Who that you've ever seen. He brought us Blink. He brought us a lot of these, again, big character beats. He brought us. He helmed the entire season of when it came to the Peter Capaldi Doctor and Matt Smith Doctor. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Can you help get cat out? Thanks. And so that's what ultimately became his legacy. Then he rolls and then he disappears and he says, "I'm done. I'm never gonna do this again." And so,
so
all
what
of a
happens?
sudden news comes out that his literal response in the whole thing is, I'm sorry I disappointed you guys. I'm absolutely coming back. And so
there's nothing wrong with that, because again, you just listed the ones that you loved.
Absolutely. So again, I'm personally excited for it. I don't know. There's weird camps that are like I didn't like this, or why is this person? Why are they going back? I don't know about you, but I never wanted these people to leave.
Yeah, I
would have been very happy if any one of them would have set themselves up like the Kevin Feige of the Doctor Whoverse. And lasted and stayed around forever because they were brilliant writers. Now, obviously, creative people and writers want to do their own thing. They want to do new things. Yeah. But at the same time, these guys I'm excited.
I am too. Have a problem with no, I'm excited too. I'm just regularly excited anyway.
No, I got you.
And the more I feel like the closer we're getting to when it does come out, I am. We get more of these fun guess what's happening in this?
Sure.
It builds the anticipation of us getting this season together. So keep dropping these little things. Yes, I'm glad he's coming back because while I might not know him off the top of my head, I'm sure there's plenty of episodes that I've liked that he's written.
So. Oh, absolutely. No, fair enough. All right, so comment below. Let me know what you think. Are you excited for Stephen Moffat's return to Doctor Who? I know that I very much am looking forward to it. Would love to find out what your thoughts are. And so comment below and let us know as soon as you get the opportunity. Now, next up, I think it's time to have a conversation, finally. At the top, I'm not going to bury the lead anymore. I asked the question, is the Acolyte going to save Star Wars? Now, I know that's a very divisive question. And I'm going to go right up front. I'm a Star Trek fan. Star Trek is my jam. That's my fandom. I enjoy Star Wars like most any sci-fi fan or any person of genre that enjoys Star Wars. I do follow these things. I review a ton of them on the channel and whatnot. And I've liked a bunch of them. For the most part, I liked most of what Obi-Wan did. Mm-hmm. I'm one of the rare ones who I enjoyed Book of Boba Fett. Were there slow moments?
Yeah.
Absolutely, without a doubt. But I enjoyed it. Mandalorian I thought was amazing. Andor is next level. I think Andor showed us a version of Star Wars we haven't seen since Rogue One. And I loved Rogue One.
Yes, I loved Rogue One.
So I feel like you get a really interesting opportunity when you start going further back.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, especially because you have to remember, fans of Star Wars lived for 30 years, a little more than that maybe, with nothing but books, comic books, role-playing games, There was no actual. We didn't have any more episodes. There was no TV series. There were no animations happening. I mean, briefly there was a little. There was like the Droids cartoon and some other ones that were very short lived. But for the most part, that was it. You weren't getting a whole lot of hardcore Star Wars. Now until the prequels came back, and then after the prequels, now we just recently left the sequels a few years back. So the question becomes: is the Acolyte going to do anything? I saw the trailer. I liked the trailer.
Yes, the teaser
on its
trailer
face,
at that.
I liked the trailer. Now, if you go online and you look at Star Wars' YouTube channel and you look at the Acolyte's actual trailer video, just look at the likes versus dislikes. It is liked about 130 whatever million times, or 1,000 times or something like that. And it is disliked just as many, maybe a little more. And I'm sitting here going, and one of my good friends, he posted on X, and he goes, "I'm convinced Star Wars fans just don't like themselves." And I'm like, I kind of have to. I guess I kind of agree.
It's not that we don't like ourselves. It
is a very divided fandom, and the truth is, it's not about whether or not they like themselves.
I think it's divided because when the prequels came out, that was a different generation.
Okay.
So they're kind of like, not that it makes what if they've put out good.
Well, and so my thought is that, see, I'm more of the philosophy that more than half the fan base, or at least half of it, and this is a great way to look at it, has been disillusioned by what's come out.
I agree.
Okay, I like the vast majority of stuff. Ahsoka, I enjoyed.
I loved Ahsoka.
You know, of the sequel trilogy, I enjoyed the first, Force Awakens, and I enjoyed the last. I enjoyed each movie on its own merit. I did enjoy Rian Johnson's. I don't think it was part of that trilogy. I feel like Rian Johnson's movie belonged in some other movie somewhere. It didn't know where it was at. So the two ones that JJ made feel like they belonged to something, and we're just missing that movie in the middle.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Okay, so other than that, I just got finished rewatching them just to kind of get my.
I did. I walked in one day and he's like, "I'm like, what are you watching?"
Yeah, I'm like, come on, it's Rey doing the floaty with the rocks floating around her. You know what I'm saying?
Doing the floaty.
You know what I mean?
Look, I guess my concern is there's always this discussion about how it will make us rethink everything, and we had a small discussion about that after reading the articles of things. Nothing.
There was the current showrunner, who, by the way, is I hate to say it like she's got to have a license for it. She is a bona fide card-carrying Star Wars fan. Legit.
Wonderful.
So in the thing, she mentions,
Y'all do that.
she said there was this headline that quoted her in an interview that she did. She says that, she goes, well, we're going to challenge your ideas of Jedi and Sith, and that triggered me quick. By that I mean...
Me too.
I was like... I remember I sat up, and you can look at my posts online. I said, who has to be challenged?
I just want stories.
I just want good Star Wars. Right.
I entertain me, number one.
Sure.
Number two, give me the Star Wars that we want. This is not... I don't... Ugh.
For 30 years, like I said before, fans of Star Wars had to deal with just the stories. What is now known as Extended Universe or Legends. The thing is, when Big Bad Disney ponied up and was like, here's $4 billion, Mr. Lucas, we want your IP. There was, for a brief moment, we were like, finally, someone with the money to do so, and we're going to get some of these awesome stories. Now, we've gotten some parts. Obviously, you're getting Thrawn, you're getting some, and that's in the stuff with Ahsoka. You're getting some elements here and there. I think that there was a lot of the bounty hunter-y type elements where that underworld stuff. We're getting some pieces of. Marvel's doing better comic book stories now than they've ever done when it comes to Star Wars. A lot of it filling in a lot of gaps. Funny enough. But at the same time, people were like, "Sweet, we're gonna get the Solo twins."
And when
awesome.
I was expecting that before we got The Force Awakens.
We're gonna get the death of Chewbacca. Now, why do you want the death of Chewbacca? Because that was such a monumental moment in the original graphic novel runs. And it's like you're going to get these pieces and these stories. We're going to get Dark Empire Rising, and we're going to get the Heir to the Empire, and we're going to get all these things that would have been amazing, and we've never gotten them. What we've gotten is an army of filmmakers continuing to sit here and try to reimagine, challenge fans, blah, blah, blah.
No,
And
I
again,
don't want that.
I come back to the mentality, what are you doing? You bought an IP because it had a built-in audience, and then you proceed to spend the next decade alienating that audience? The math doesn't add up for me. Again, I'm a fan of these things. I love Star Wars. Do I feel like sometimes you're dropping the ball on some things? Absolutely. But at the same time, I'm still here. Mm-hmm. I haven't ripped up my Disney membership card or said I'm never going to watch Star Wars. I absolutely watch them.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a Star Trek fan. You got to remember where I'm coming from. Just a year and a half ago, we got the best callback we could have ever asked for in Picard Season 3. We got to see our favorite characters from the past on the bridge of their ship. Y'all didn't get the stars.
We got Han Solo killed on the bridge by his son. That's what we got.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was very divisive, and this whole my point ultimately is that I don't know that it's so. Let's real quick. We've gone so far on a tangent. Let's go back to the Acolyte. The Acolyte, first off, because I heard like some folks online were like, "There's nothing new here, and this, and blah blah blah." I'm like, look, the Acolyte. I felt like it was a wonderful trailer. It looked exciting.
I'm. By the way, I'm watching this. I'm watching
this.
I mean, because I'm a Star Wars fan, and I might complain about it. However,
yeah.
I'm hoping that this is a good turnaround because who were we watching? John Campea.
Yeah.
When Chris Carr said, what goes into making a Sith crystal lightsaber?
Yes.
Like, are we gonna learn? Like, are we gonna figure this out? Like, we're gonna actually know? Like, we're gonna see it now? Like, that part's exciting.
Yeah.
A lot of what the trailer said, this is exciting, and I'm hoping I'm wrong on this one.
Well, my issue at the moment is, so again, going into it, saw the trailer, got excited. Then I started reading up a little because up until this point, I had not really dived into what the Acolyte was supposed to be. Not at all. I had heard the name, but Disney wasn't really showing us anything. And like Patty Jenkins' movie, the Rogue Squadron movie was canned and or whatever else, and all the other stuff that wasn't happening. So I was like, whatever. So the trailer comes out, and I'm like, oh, this is serious.
It really is happening, yeah.
And it looked great. Then I started reading. I'm like, well, I want to read up more. What is the Acolyte? And I'm like, this doesn't add up. Apparently, it's supposed to be a darker tone, focused on the villains, meaning the Sith, show. The premise sounds fine. Then we get an entire trailer with Carrie-Anne Moss looking like a Jedi. You get the dude from Squid Games looking like a Jedi instructor. Everything's bright. Everything's hopeful. Yes, there's darkness. Someone's attacking the Jedi, and this and that. And I find myself going, well, but if these are all Jedi characters, where are we? Did I miss something? Who? And if you're going to tell me it's the beaded girl, the girl with the beads in her hair, with the knife, who's fighting Carrie-Anne Moss and whatever else, I didn't get that she was the star. I honestly felt much more like the Jedi and dude from Squid Games were the stars. So if I'm reading that wrong, please jump in the comments and tell me. But to me, this is not the Acolyte that I read about, that version of things, doesn't seem like what they just gave me in the trailer.
Well, now we're going to have to think about, okay, so now how misleading is this trailer, and then how much is it going to really tick off us Star Wars fans?
See, the problem is that the only thing that we should worry about. So, by the way, the likes of other people online, Jeff Schneider and some other folks, have all kind of said, "Well, you should totally, don't try to pander to the fans. Tell a good story." The problem is they haven't been telling a good story to this point. Not well. It's been kind of half. Obi-Wan was half a movie that was good.
Yeah.
And it was not, and the parts that weren't good were really not good. It's one of those things where I just want to see a Star Wars.
Okay, so listen. Well, we will see a Star Wars because what is Star Wars about? Hope. I know Star Wars fans, that's probably why we always stick around. We always have hope.
Yeah. Unlike half of the fandom that has disliked the trailer.
Right.
Which I'm like, I don't know what to say about that. So anyway,
you'll get a Star Wars. We're gonna get one eventually.
Yeah, comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the Acolyte, the trailer. Did you see it? What did you think of it? Did you like it? I know that again. I'm always hopeful, but at the same time, I also want to be realistic with these things. So let me know what your thoughts are. Would love to find out. Absolutely, because again, it's a conversation we're having, I think. So with that out of the way, it's time for another Mrs. Know-It-All rant. Don't know if you saw this news. We're getting a Never-Ending Story reboot. To which you responded with?
Nobody asked for one.
I'm gonna take a step back and allow her to go right ahead.
I want to know why. No, seriously, nobody has asked for this, and I kind of feel like, let's be for real, I'm a Gen Xer, so are you. You guys keep messing with our stuff, and we're part of the generation of the mess around and find out, and I said that nicely. And why y'all want to pick on us? Because you're gonna keep doing this, and we're gonna stop going to the movies. We're gonna just stop, because nobody can make this any better.
Well, did you just see the article that came out? Like, the vast majority of people in our generation has decided, we're like, you know what? I'm gonna stay home. I'm gonna stay home and watch movies at home. And it's because of nonsense like this.
You can't. I'm sorry, just don't do it. And it's a series, right? It's being turned into a movie.
So, no. They said they called it a new series of movies. I think they potentially want to do another. They want to reboot the franchise. So they're going to. So they'll come out now. I don't know if it'll have any connection to the original, which I think personally, if you're going to even do this, you probably should.
You probably should. Like, I want.
It's supposed to be the never-ending story.
Reboot it. There. Thank you. Don't change this. Tell me more of the stories in this place after Bastion comes back with it.
I guarantee that actress is still alive. Have her have her own daughter, who's the new
Empress.
Who's the new childlike Empress.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see. Please bring back all these characters. That's number one. But I see. Don't change the way they look. Don't CGI them. They're fine the way they are. Also,
we're getting CGI Falcor.
That's stupid. And if we allow this, which obviously it's been allowed.
We allow this travesty.
We're allowing this travesty to happen. The next one up, so help me, I don't know how I'm going to feel. I don't know who I have to write. But if they end up doing this to Labyrinth,
woo!
I'm done. Don't give me the CGI Falcor. Don't give me CGI.
What? Now, hold on. When they announced that Ivan Reitman's son was going to be doing the sequel to Ghostbusters, we got excited because we figured, hey, you know what? Somebody with some pedigree. And now, so imagine, just based on what you just said a second ago, imagine you find out Jim Henson Workshop has been tapped to do a Labyrinth sequel. I think it'd be dope. Especially if you got the original people involved.
I guess my problem... Okay, he's dead.
Okay, I'm not talking about Jim Henson.
No, David Bowie.
Yeah, of course he is.
You can't replace David Bowie.
But in the mythology of who the Goblin King is, there's no reason you couldn't have the Goblin King like Doctor Who, changes his shape or appears to different people looking differently. Maybe it's a boy and he looks like it's the Goblin Queen. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I mean, that was pretty logical. Again, that's pretty logical.
Former writer in the writer's room. Anyway.
That's my little rant. What do y'all think? I'm being silly when I say my generation and stuff, but I just feel like a lot of times there's just movies that you don't need to touch them, you know?
They're sacred cows. Don't mess with them.
Yeah, my last rant was about It's a Wonderful Life.
True story.
But I don't know. It's just that I get it's the whole premise we've had.
Yeah.
Those movies. It's
yeah.
I don't understand why this needs to be
a thing. No, I hear
That's
you.
all.
Well,
I'm really not that much of an angry person, guys. Sorry you had to see that.
Comment below. Tell us what you think about the possibility of a brand new never-ending story, or rather of the story never ending for real. And let us know. We'd love to absolutely hear your thoughts and find out what you think. as well as kind of and about any of the other topics we've discussed so far, whatever it is. Yes.
No, go ahead.
So you leaned over like you were gonna say something.
No, I was gonna tell you not to forget something.
What? Oh, right. Also, I want to point out Badgie because Baby Know-It-All got me this for my birthday. Birthday month.
It's birthday month.
I got the pizza cutter from last week. Now I got Badgie this week from the Baby Know-It-All. Thank you, honey. I love you so much. I appreciate that. And it's going to go on our set where it will stay and be shown off to everybody everywhere all at once. All right, guys. We'll talk again very, very soon. I can't wait to see what happens between this week and next. Never forget.
Everyone loves a know-it-all.
Bye, guys.